Storytime, gents. Be me. Be 23. Right out of college and I have no fucking idea what to do with my life. Look at local businesses. I wanted to find somewhere I could stay until I get a better job. I don't want to work anywhere too far from home though, because I don't have a car, and my moped is the best that I can do right now. Live 15 minutes away from a Chuck E. Cheese. It's better than nothing, I guess. I go in, I do my interview. Really basic shit. They're basically just making sure that I'm not a pedophile or a creep. Anon, how would you like to be the man in our Chuck E. Cheese mascot costume? I agree. On that day, I sold my soul to the Chuck E. Cheese company. That day, I started one of the worst experiences of my life. Work starts that upcoming Monday, making $8 an hour, so it's okay, I guess. The first week is pretty slow, only a few small gatherings. It goes by rather quickly, actually. I spend Monday through Friday getting acquainted with my fellow employees. A good portion of them are about my age. There's a cute cashier chick, but I don't even bother because she brings her 2-year-old into work every day. Ew, she's a mom, ew. Glad I don't have to say anything in the costume and all my coworkers speak for me. All I have to do is dance, give high fives / hugs, and take pictures. At least the building was air conditioned because the shit can be as hot as the devil's asshole sometimes. Free food is also a plus. The pizza's okay, you know, I'll take it. Clock in Saturday morning. My manager, we'll call her Ashley, greets me at the door.
Big day today, Anon. We're busiest on Saturdays, so you'll be wearing the suit for the majority of today. 5 birthdays are scheduled for tonight.
Fuck my life.jpg. I cannot describe how fucking awful it is to be surrounded by 50 snot-nosed and grease-covered 9-year-olds all at once, all while dying of heat stroke in a furry costume. I must keep working. Must continue. I am Chuck E. Cheese. Night cometh. It's 5 p.m., and the families are starting to show up. Countless bored parents and sugar-high children completely take the place by storm. Kids running around the facility, pizzas and sodas on the carpet, arcade games covered in grease. I thought it couldn't get any worse than the hell on earth that it already was. After about 3 hours, the first 2 of the families pack up and leave. I even get tipped by one parent whose kid kicked me in the crotch. I nearly strangled that child. I must keep up the act. I play it off as cool, take the $5 and get my suit cleaned up. Grease stains and snot cover the purple shirt. It looks like a fucking crime scene. I switch out my shirt. Then, the most unimaginable horror of the night arrives. There's a girl working the entrance that gives all the kids little ink stamps that are invisible until shown under the black light. She faces a massive crowd that extends to the outside of the building. A singular woman steps in. I get closer to listen in on the conversation.
Hello, we have a birthday reservation for Stanley. Party of 40.
I take off my mouse head for a brief moment to get a better look. Standing behind her is an army. An army of fucking potatoes. It's a tard fest. This woman brought in an entire special ed class to this Chuck E. Cheese, and I was going to have to endure it all. I put the mask back on and went to Ashley's office.
I never fucking signed up for this.
Sorry, Anon, but Chuck E. Cheese caters to all guests and parties. Please, I need you to play the part.
The pizza place needed me. They needed Chuck E. Cheese, so I'd give it to them. Proudly, I swung open the door and marched valiantly into the party room.
Showtime,
I said to one of my fellow cast members. The tards flood the place.
Cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war.
In an instant, tards storm the entire building. The tards take to the playhouse, the arcade, the party area. The whole place is filled with them. The rest of the cast members are panicking. Ashley is locked in her office. The chefs are stressing with the amount of pizza they have to keep pumping out. It is a madhouse. It's anarchy. The Tard guards aren't doing jack shit. Parents are on their phones waiting for it to be over. I swear I saw some parents straight up leave after dropping their Tard off at the door. I should have left. I should have ran. It's not long before we're hearing reports of the slide filling up with shit and some kid peeing in the ball pit. I feel like I'm gonna vomit. I rush to the bathroom. There, I see one of the Tard tamers in the men's room changing one of them. This Tard is massive and barely fits on the table. There's shit on the walls. I leave the bathroom and head backstage. I'm shaking in trauma of the horrible things I'm seeing unfold in my restaurant. I regain my composure and I head back outside. One of the Tards asks me, "Where's the show, Chucky?" I stutter, must keep up the act.
It's coming soon, kiddo.
The Tard guards bring the kids into the party room. The animatronic show begins. The Tards roar and cheer in excitement as the animatronics come to life.
Hey everybody, are you ready to party?
Says Chucky. They all gurgle and scream, "Yes!" in unison. The first song begins. The band plays, "If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands." The Tards are just eating it up. They absolutely love it. Watching the Tards, I notice one in particular. This Tard was bigger than all the others, clearly not a child. This thing had to be in his teens. He was wearing the Mickey Mouse ears you often see at Disney World and a birthday boy t-shirt. This must have been him. This was Stanley, king of the Tards. The animatronics kept playing more kids' songs. The Tards demand more and more. One Tard, a short and fat one, gets closer to the stage. Somehow he miraculously manages to get up to the Chucky animatronic. No one is stopping him. Me and the crew watch in horror. The parents and handlers don't do jack shit. The kid starts tugging on the costume, yelling, "Chucky, Chucky, Chucky!" He ends up tearing a piece of the fur costume lining off, revealing a bit of the robot. The operators stop the show. The Tard is removed from the stage. A cast member comes out with a microphone. We'll call her Rachel.
Hey everybody, sorry about that. The band is going on a short break, but Chucky himself will be out here shortly.
Oh my fucking god, they're gonna make me go out there, into the fray. I'm genuinely terrified. 3 minutes passed. The Tards are screaming and wailing, demanding to see Chucky. My music cue begins. I step out on the stage. The shitstorm is in full swing. The Tards are now cheering and screaming after seeing their beloved pizza-eating deity come before them. I had never had so many downward-pointing eyes facing me all at once. Stanley was easily the most excited of the bunch. Rachel, who had been working at Chuck E. Cheese's for a few years, later told me that he had come in for his birthday for every year that she had the job. Rachel stands beside me and rallies the Tards. I start dancing on stage with the music. The Tards start flailing their arms.
Who wants pizza?
Rachel announced. The Tards scream with delight. Several cast members come out bringing pizza by the boxes and setting them on the table. Tard guards are trying to pass out slices individually, but shit hits the fan shortly after. The Tards are throwing food across the room. Drinks are spilling all over the floor. Cheese, sauce, crust, all over the walls. One slice hits me in the face. I have to wipe off the cheese and pizza sauce from the lens piece of the mask, or else I wouldn't be able to see. I take off the mask for a brief second just to wipe it. The Tard standing right beside me realizes that Chucky is just a character, and that what was before him was really just a scrawny, neckbeard-clad man-child. He starts crying uncontrollably. I try putting the mask back on to make him happy, but to no avail. I walk away from the child and approach the party table. He's still crying. I head over towards Rachel.
What the fuck are we gonna do?
We're just gonna try and get this over with as soon as possible. We're doing cake and birthday song next.
One of the chefs, a guy named Ryan, who's actually still a friend of mine, comes out with the cake, along with a girl who I assume is Stanley's mother. This woman is easily 200 pounds of pure lard. They set the cake on the table right in front of Stanley, and Rachel makes the announcement.
Okay, everyone, we're gonna sing the birthday song.
More incomprehensible tard screeching fills the room. We get into just 5 seconds of the birthday song. Happy birthday to... Stanley begins smashing the cake, proceeds to slam his whole face into it. Bits and pieces of cake are flying in every direction. Stanley proceeds to throw up on the ruined remains of his SpongeBob SquarePants birthday cake. I can see the Patrick Star figurine that once topped the cake drowning in a pool of vomit. Stanley and the surrounding tards begin slamming pieces of the vomit-covered cake into their mouths. There's no stopping them. The damage has already been done. We, the cast members of Chuck E. Cheese's, had to submit. For the rest of the night, we just sorta sat back and watched all the horrible shit unfold. The parents were complaining. There was piss and shit in the carpet. Screaming tards, passed out tards, breastfeeding tards, even a tard running across the building running stark fucking nude with a fully erect 3-inch member. I wanted to bleach my eyes. I never wanted to see such a horrible sight again. I decide that enough is enough, and I march over to Ashley's office. Turns out, she's gone. She fucking ditched us in this whole catastrophe. I leave her door unlocked, leaving it free for the tards to take over. It's not long before I see tards storming the office, tearing papers out and knocking over filing cabinets. One of our front windows even gets broken and it has to be repaired. Of course, none of the fucking parents nor tard handlers pay for any damages to the property.
They're innocent little handicaps who can't control themselves.
Another hour passes. It is now 11 p.m. Closing time. We force all the tards out of the building. The place is an utter disaster. Tables and chairs are flipped, stains on the walls and carpets, a ruined play area, damaged animatronics. It was like an atomic bomb went off right in the center. The tards were gone. It was over. The war was won by Stanley and his vast potato army, and I was defeated. I left wearing my Chuck E. Cheese outfit and I never came back. I literally burned the thing and hoped to never walk into a Chuck E. Cheese again. I never heard from Ashley or Rachel again. I vowed to never have kids. I vowed to never let myself near a tard again. 6 months later, my brother shows up coming to visit. While he's out getting presents for his daughter's birthday, I spend time with my niece. We talk about her birthday plans and whatnot. I ask her if she wants to go somewhere special for her birthday. She tells me she wants to go to Chuck E. Cheese's for her birthday. And that's all. I will never be stepping into a Chuck E. Cheese in my life, ever again. Be 15-year-old me in school. Go to class with a super retard. He reeks of piss. The scruffiest guy you'll ever meet. Teeth mankier than a Brit Bong's. Says he shagged 12 lasses. I don't give a fig. Says one of them is Prego. Yeah, sure.png. Class starts. Suddenly, he starts bawling in the middle of the class. We don't know why. He just sat there. The teacher comes over. He tells the teacher he shagged 12 lasses and one got Prego. What? The teacher just laughs at him. The next day, he gives a girl a poem he wrote. Starts telling her how he'd bang her. He gets beaten up by her. I'll fuck you one day. Comes up to me, covered in blood. I fucked her and I got her Prego, and that's why she beat me up. My face went, what the fuck just happened? B14, in my helping out the tards class. A tard named Jacob always sits by me. Jacob thinks he's in the army. Tells me he's been blown up by a claymore before but survived it. He's just a kid full of stupid stories pretty much. One day, I take Jacob to art class so he can paint. Jacob always tries to sit with the cool kids, he calls them that, in art class. Cool kids hate Jacob, but they play it off like they don't so they can mess with him. One day, they ask him if he ever gets high. He says yes to try and fit in. They tell him there's a cool new way to get high.
All you have to do is pour paint in your eyes.
He does it. Ouch.jpg. He starts screaming and crying. Office people show up after the teacher calls them down there. He used a red paint, so they think he could be bleeding. Jacob gets rushed to the hospital. He doesn't come back for the rest of the year. It was May when this happened. Jacob transfers schools. Story time. I went to a school that had a TARD integration system. Have like 10 TARDs in different classes. Have this one in several. Let's call him Joe. Joe is pretty cool. One of those TARDs that makes you laugh when you talk to him. He would always have really bad gas. Joe would oftentimes shit his pants during class. One day, I'm in a class with him and we're all taking notes and doing bookwork. All of a sudden, a primal war screech sounds from Joe's asshole. We all look at him. His face was a mixture of confusion and regret. My face when? The smell reaches everyone. Joe gets up and hightails it out of the classroom. We later found out that he indeed shit his pants. From that point on, Joe came prepared for such a thing. Every time he started getting gassy, he would pull out these pills and take one, claiming they were gas pills. One day, I get the honor of being partnered with him because Joe put me down as a friend in his TARD report. We're working on our assignment. He's pretty smart, but he has Asperger's and autism. I try to ask him what his favorite show is. He instantly replies, Scooby-Doo. I told him that I liked it too, because I'm nice. He starts going into detail about all of the episodes. Once again, the shit winds are brewing. I begin to smell the sharp stench of shit damp on the air. I ask Joe if he farted. He goes, no. I can tell it was him. I keep working on the assignment. Out of nowhere, Joe gets up and bolts towards the door, holding his ass. Forgets to open the door as he runs full on into it. He hits the door and explodes like a shit balloon. The stench and sight were horrible. The class was stuck in the room until the shit was wiped by custodians. Joe was back the next day as if nothing had happened. Joe had a TARD friend that he was basically always with. Let's call him Tim. Tim is one of those autists that tries to show everyone really bad magic tricks. Tim's dad also works for an oil company, so he's got all the new toys and gadgets he wants. He comes to school one day with 4 new iPod Nanos. Joe, being the tart he is, gets jealous. They're sitting in the commons area, gawking at those shitty Nanos. Joe reaches for one. Tim slaps Joe square across the face. I'm sitting on the other side of the room and I hear that slap. Joe stands up and war cries at the top of his lungs, inaudible words. Tim looks scared, almost for his life. Joe, having screamed so loud, shit his pants in the process. Nobody had really arrived at school yet, so there wasn't much of a crowd. Joe, not giving a fuck, ran and tackled Tim like the best defensive end I'd ever seen. Instantly, liquid shit comes flowing forth from Joe's ass onto the battlefield. The two are frantically rolling around in molten shit. I just sat and watched in amusement. Security comes and refuses to break it up due to insanitary conditions. Joe and Tim weren't seen for a month after that shitstorm. In my 3rd year of high school now, Joe had been gone for about a year. He went to Europe for a school year. He was suspended for asking everyone about their accent. Joe and Tim get reunited. They hug and then out of fucking nowhere, Joe kisses Tim. He says it's how they greet in Europe. Tim just laughs and says, okay. Joe now gets into the habit of kissing Tim every time they're near each other. Shit's pretty gay, but it's still funny as hell. One week, I break my leg and needed surgery, so I was gone for about a week. Then I finally came back to school. The first class I'm back to, Joe is there. I asked Joe if he missed me because I thought it would be funny, plus it would pass the time waiting for his reply. He responds with, "No, I wanted you to die from blood marrow in your veins." Holy shit, where did that come from? I ask him why he's mad at me. Says that I left him by himself with these imbeciles. I just laugh. He gets pissed that I laugh. He does his war scream, letting his ass juices flow forth. As soon as I hear this, I dash out the nearest door and hightail it. I turn around and see Joe running towards me whilst dropping shit down his leg. I make a sharp turn. He attempts to make it as well. The wet shit causes him to lose all traction on the turn and glide about 10 yards down the hall. He didn't talk to me for the rest of the year. 16. Sophomore in high school. Go to a big school, 3,000 plus kids. Our school has a special ed program. In my group of friends, it's known as the Tard Hallway. Now, the hallway was located near a few of my classes, so sometimes I would walk through there. It was all fun and games when we saw Tard yell or do something funny. But one day, in class, we had Chinese for lunch, and I needed to release a kraken of a shit. I go to the disgusting Tard bathrooms that are closer to my class. There's piss on the floor in puddles, shit smeared on the toilet seat. I spend 20 minutes cleaning the toilet for use. Finally, I can go. Drop pants, close my eyes, and fasten my seatbelt. I hear a noise. Someone's coming in. Fuck. I'm an awkward kid. I can't work under pressure. My school is kind of ghetto. I'm also afraid of the nignogs. I look at their shoes, trying to judge who this person is. Chunky white Nikes with Walmart jeans. Oh, thank God it's only a Tard. Keeps walking towards my stall. Oh no. He tries to open it. Occupado? You fucking idiot, he doesn't speak Spanish, he barely speaks English. Someone's in here? Keeps trying to open the door. Breaks through the shitty lock and sees me in all of my glory. He's a fat nignog downsy with a neck at least 4 feet in girth. I'll call him Thumb Thumb, because he looks like an enormous thumb. Thumb Thumb proceeds to drop his pants. No, I'm using the toilet. No! I'm practically begging him at this point. Whips out his fat nignog cock and aims at the toilet. I spring into action, dodging his spray of nignog Tard urine and roll under the stall. I feel relieved until I notice that I'm lying in a puddle of old piss. I drive home, play video games, and browse 4chan for the rest of my day. No one will ever know. Grade 8. Walking to the bathroom. Tard Wrangler standing outside the toilet area. Hey Anon, Adam is in there. Try not to bother him. Alright. I walk in, see Adam pacing around in a huff. Pull up to the urinal and I start to pee. Adam stares into the gap between my arm and the urinal. Adam, that's not okay. Seriously, just go. I forget that Adam can only say either "Are you okay?" or "Am I okay?" This time he opted to say, "Are you okay?" Yes, Adam, just stop looking at my noodle. I zip up. He is angry that I yelled at him. He storms around the bathroom, making the sound of a rusty shopping cart wheel. Are you okay? Are you okay? This is the end.png. He hops up onto the sink, craps a bit, hops down, finishes the rest of his dump on the floor. Am I okay? Am I okay? Am I okay? The Tard Wrangler hears the commotion, walks in, sees him, I, and the mess. Anon, what? Adam throws a rock at her. What.jpg throws a handful of playground pebbles at her. She has her face turned into a corner. He dumps a bunch of big rocks into the urinals and runs out of the bathroom. He hits the stairs and falls down them, colliding with the resident black guy. Dude, what the hell? Realizes it's Adam, smeared in feces. He takes off. I'm walking back to class. Hear the vice principal talking to Adam. Are you okay? Am I okay? Are you okay? Fucking stupid story. Go to a school half filled with durs, which is what we call the Tards. I'm in like 5th grade at the time. At recess, 10 swings on the swing set, oh yeah. Sitting next to my buddy, yeah, we be swinging. Suddenly, a horde of like 20 or more retards approaches. One steps forward towards one of the kids on the swing, maniacally screams, "Hee!" and throws the girl off the swing set onto the ground, pummeling the living hell out of her. Suddenly, war rages. Retards are swarming us. My friend is taken off of the swings, then I am as well. I get beaten up by like 4 tards. My knee gets broken after 2 throw these big rocks they found. Suddenly, teachers arrive, trying to break it up. Retards attack the teachers. Some teachers retreat back into the school building, as do the classmates on the blacktop. I hear screaming and crying. I scream, "Make it stop!" I lose consciousness after a short time passes. Weeks later, find out that some of the retards were carrying weapons, crappy ones at that, forks mostly. 2 kids were stabbed. One was stabbed almost to death. Multiple classmates were seriously injured, around 4 or 5 of them. A small number of classmates have concussions. One classmate is suspended for stealing one of the Durder's forks and stabbing him with it. Most of the retards are put in juvenile corrections. Some of them are left with stern warnings. My brother laughs at me for being beaten up by retards. My parents take me out of school and we move to a different town. My parents make sure that I never went to school with retards again. Retail wage slave Feminon here. Work for Future Shop, a Canadian subsidiary of Best Buy. Work with only guys in an electronics store. These said guys are jerks and force non-white or homeless-looking people to ask me for help. A tard comes into the store a few weeks ago. Semi-frequent customer, but avoids my area. There are cameras there. Maybe 25 or 30. The worst part is his tard wrangler is a black guy who leaves him under salespeople's care in the store. Asks me in a very broken tone for a camera. The said tard is more stupid than others, like class 5 downs or something. Holds out a clump of money to see what kind he can get. It's only $80. He buys a crappy camera and I only make a little bit of commission. The tard wrangler asks me about the return policy. I tell him 14 days and can't return the memory card if it's opened. 1 week later, the tard wrangler is at customer service with the tard who is freaking out. Can't return the memory card. DEFCON potato. The tard is angry that he's not getting his memory card worth like $10 returned since the packaging is ripped and was used. The memory card is missing, but the camera is still there. It gets returned. "Fuck you, Anon," from the tard wrangler. Camera gets cleaned to be sold open box. 3 weeks later, I'm selling the open box camera that the tard had. Turning it on, I find that there's a few megabytes of internal storage inside the camera. Huh? Mother and 8-year-old daughter test it out, buy it, everything's good, right? 1 hour later, hysterical mother is at the front of the store. The daughter is in tears. The internal storage had 5 photos on the camera. The tard and tard wrangler both had bad self-shots. Cocks out. There's a printed photo of my Facebook profile photo visible in the photo. Why can't women write? I have a tard story that I've only shared once on this site. I never saved it, so I'll type it out since people seem to enjoy them. You'll understand why I don't often share it. Be in high school, mopey teen fag. Some kid named Aaron is an absolute shit canoe. Sort of a bully, but not bigger or strong enough to beat the fuck out of me, more of a heckler or a shit talker. Didn't stop him one day from slapping me like a bitch. Don't even remember what he did. There was a heated altercation with Aaron on the 2nd floor of school. I say something, I get slapped in the face. I'm more confused and disgusted that he touched me than I was hurt. He's laughing, his high-pitched laugh, and walks away down the stairs to the 1st floor. Enter Bill. Bill was an absolute psychopath. He had 2 huge fucking wranglers. Bill felt no pain and had the tard strength of every strong X-Men character combined. I've seen Bill's fist go through lockers, not even kidding. Attacked damn near everybody. One thing I noticed is people gave him commands like a dog. "Bill, gesture, sit." He responded like a well-oiled war machine. For some horrifying reason, Bill was unmonitored that day, taking a huge fucking risk engaging Bill. Only Bill, me, and Aaron are in the hallway. Aaron is about to go down the stairs. "Bill!" His psychotic eyes locked with mine, and I had a split second to command him or I was fucking dead. I pointed at Aaron. "Get him!" Bill saw his new target, let out a shriek that still turns my bowels to water when I think about it, and charged at Aaron. What I saw was an actual nightmare. Bill threw his body into Aaron, perhaps unaware of the staircase, latched onto Aaron and helped him skip 14 steps. There wasn't a lot of noise. I didn't look at what had happened. Rumor had it that Bill was taken to the hospital for severe head trauma and a broken leg. Aaron's neck was broken and he was paralyzed. Aaron couldn't speak, and the injury was so devastating that he just shut down completely. I never saw Bill again. I still don't know how he escaped his wranglers. Have a 14-year-old Down syndrome sibling. Christmas morning. The morning alarm tard scream activates. Wakes up my entire family. Fuck my life.jpg. Everyone goes to the Christmas tree. The tard cousin gets the most presents. Opens the biggest box first. It's a Yorkie, small dog. Who the hell gives a tard a pet? Takes the dog out of the box and hugs it to death with the force of 1,000 tard grips. Papa, dog no work! My uncle notices that the dog is dead. Nobody noticed when she was killing it because we were opening other presents and stuff like that. My uncle gently asks the tard to hand over the dead dog. Tard war cry activates. The tard breaks through the back door with the dead dog still in his hands. The tard shouts, "Grease in you!" Throws the dead dog over the fence into the neighbor's yard. All of my family tries to ignore what just happened. They send me to tell the neighbors to hand over the corpse in the backyard. Fuck my life.jpg. Be me. Be in high school. Sitting in the gym one day waiting for the teacher. This one tard named Donovan. Donovan gets up and goes over to the sports equipment closet. He throws out everything and gets out a big exercise ball. Donovan bounces around shrieking like a total moron. He falls off. Some kid laughs at him and says, "Fag!" Donovan grabs a jump rope and wraps it around the kid's neck. The kid is struggling as Donovan chokes more tightly. The teacher walks in. Donovan immediately lets go and runs out into the hallway into the girls' bathroom. The teacher follows but calls the female guidance counselor to get him out. The rest of us watch. We hear a loud scream as the counselor leaves, covering her face and running back to her office. The tard wranglers show up. Donovan bolts out of the bathroom. The tard wranglers can't catch him. The school goes on lockdown as Donovan roams the hallways shrieking. I watch from the gym window as he runs back and forth. I see him running with a pair of scissors. Oh God. I hear a really loud scream, louder than anything I've heard that day. Everyone walks outside to see what happened. The school psychologist is bleeding with scissors shoved into her stomach. Several men walk in. I don't know if they were wranglers or police or some kind of service funded by the institution, but they tranquilize Donovan and remove him as the paramedics arrive to take care of the school counselor. 6th grade, fresh to the middle school. We are all assigned homerooms, and this is where I first met Tommy. Now, I only knew a handful of people in my homeroom and tried to talk with them. Tommy sits next to me in the row closest to the sinks. My homeroom teacher was a science teacher, so that explains the sinks. Talking to my friend, and Tommy scoots his chair loudly over to me and says, "I'm Tommy, what's up?" The entire classroom looks over, and I kinda tell him to get lost. "You guys like Dungeons and Dragons?" he says as he pulls out his big book from his bag. We look over and say something along the lines of, "Nah, that stuff is for fags." Tommy gets red in the face and screams, "I'm not a fag!" and rocks his chair back and forth violently. The teacher walks over and tells him to stop causing a scene. "No, fuck you, Mrs. Anon, I'm not a fag!" She takes Tommy's book bag from the desk and walks it out into the hallway. He screams something like, "My dungeons are in there!" and runs out to the hall. She makes him go to the office. This was my first encounter with Tommy, and I will be posting more for you guys to enjoy. Few months into school, everyone at lunch is playing Pokemon at the table. I'm playing against a friend, and 4 other friends are sitting on either side also playing each other. Tommy waddles up, plops down at the end of the table. He was pretty damn fat, so the table kinda popped when he sat. "Hey guys, you wanna play D&D?" We ignore him, but for some reason in his brain he thinks that we said yes. He pulls out his book and some stand-up card thing and walks to each of us and puts a sheet over our games. "Make your characters, I'm the DM." My buddy looks up and stares at him saying, "DM? You're a dick master?" before crumpling the papers up and tossing them at him. My other buddy knocks the card thing over and takes his book. This enrages Tommy. Tommy takes his book bag and swings it full force at my buddy, knocks him the fuck out. The principal rushes over and yanks Tommy away by his suspenders. Yes, this kid thought suspenders were cool in the 6th grade. Tommy is gone for 2 weeks. Spring break is upon us. Tommy has kinda learned that we really don't care for him in our circle of friends. We're in base class, some stupid home ec class they made everyone take in the 6th grade. It's pizza day, and we're supposed to make our own pizza. Tommy is working with this fat heifer girl since they were the 2 outcasts of the class and no one wanted them near their food. We're making our pizza dough, shaping it, and adding all the little things to it before we put it into the oven, and then we hear a loud screeching sound. Tommy and the heifer girl were making out, and the teacher was up front reading some magazines, so she didn't catch it, till they slammed into the open oven door, breaking it. Heifer girl says something like, "Take me right here," as the teacher wakes up. "What the hell are you 2 kids doing?" Tommy jumps up and says something like, "Yeah, we were playing a game. I was teaching her Dungeons and Dragons." The teacher says,
What is that, some sort of witchcraft? You 2 weirdos get out of here and go to the office.
We sit there and laugh, looking at the broken oven, all of the flour and pizza sauce on the floor at their station. Both of them were covered in it. They both got ISS the last 2 days before spring break for the whole thing. A few weeks passed since the oven incident. Tommy and Heifer Girl are now a couple, and they sit with weird anime kids who are all fat, pimple-faced, thick-rimmed glasses, you know the drill, over in the furthest corner of the lunchroom. Lunch is almost over and we're all bringing our trays up to put them away, and of course their table is over there. Tommy and this other kid were standing up with these tubes kinda sword fighting, screaming nonsense words. A small crowd gathers around and we follow suit. Another kid hopped up on a chair and said something like, "Pyromancia damnia," or something, and he flails this tube thing around. I decide that it'd be a good idea to peg this kid with my apple that I didn't eat. I hurl it at his head and he drops to the floor and cries like a baby from a 2-foot drop. Tommy jumps up and down saying, I win, oh yeah," thinking it had conjured some apple from nowhere. A random teacher escorts Tommy to the office. He gets kicked out for 2 days and the school bans D&D. It's almost summer vacation, like 3 weeks away. Typing class. Tommy gets near me due to our last names and the seating chart is fucking retarded. I'm finished with my assignment, and I'm playing some Tetris clone on my computer. Tommy taps me on the shoulder and wants me to watch this game he's playing. It's some weird anime shit. He tells me that his character on here has a noodle and a poon, and he has to win over another character with the same layout as his. It's pretty vivid for a flash game, but whatever. He gets to the part where his player is sucking the other one's wiener. I press my light button. The teacher always has headphones on, wanted us to flash a light above our computers if we needed help. The teacher walks my way and I just point at Tommy's screen. The teacher yanks the chair from under him and Tommy jumps up yelling, I almost seduced him, with a very visible boner sticking out of his sweatpants. Another kid screams out, Fag! At him, and Tommy tries to run over to him. I am not a fag! Tommy reaches into his pants and everyone thinks he's gonna whip out his noodle. His hand comes out and he shoves his hand in the kid's face. The kid takes Tommy's hand and snaps it back, breaking it and making Tommy cry. Tommy wiped his juice on that kid's face, and Tommy has to sit in ISS the rest of the year. The whole D&D thing was pretty stupid to us. We lived in West Virginia, Mountain Mama, so we thought only weirdos played that shit. And this was when Pokemon was huge. 9th grade again, biology class, which is held in the science class. Tommy is at a table by himself. We're learning some things about the heart. We hear chuckling from behind us. It's Tommy, but every time we look back, he's doing nothing. The teacher decides to look at Tommy while teaching to see what he's doing. He's turning on the Bunsen burner and hitting the thing on the bottom of the table to make the flame huge. The teacher screams at Tommy and makes him stand with his nose in the corner for the rest of the class. Tommy opens the cabinet and takes papers out and tears them up in anger. The teacher the next day makes Tommy put the papers back together in place of his test. Tommy gets mad and leaves the class. The teacher calls the principal, tells him to find Tommy. Tommy is trying to get into other people's lockers. Tommy comes back to class, still mad. The teacher asks if he wants to put the papers back together now or if he's taking the 0. Tommy mumbles some weird things and just pulls out a thick D&D book. Tommy finds out that his girlfriend is cheating on him with some other fat kid named Tommy in the anime clique he's in. Tommy is beyond pissed. Tommy thinks it's a good idea to print pictures of him and his ex out. Some very special pictures. Tommy hands them to the new boyfriend. New Tommy takes old Tommy's backpack and fills it with a 2-liter of soda. This kid seriously brought warm 2 liters to school. Old Tommy breaks down, screaming. New Tommy and the heifer laugh. Old Tommy stands up and punches the heifer in the face as hard as he can, shattering her glasses and making blood gush out of her nose. New Tommy just stands there. Old Tommy says, "You will love me!" He tries to get on top of her, but the teachers are there now and drag Tommy off. "Those were our dungeons. I was gonna let you be my queen." Or something like that. It's the only thing we heard as Tommy was dragged to the office. It was the beginning of last year, and my buddy, we'll call him E, worked as a baker at this local grocery store. This grocery store hires a bunch of tards from the local high schools for co-op programs. E works with them consistently. One day I get a text out of the blue. Good God, no. What the fuck is wrong, dude? Apparently E took his break and went for his midday dump. Halfway through his business, all of a sudden, boom. The door to the bathroom is kicked in and there's a low mumbling coming from someone. This someone picks the stall right beside E. For a couple of seconds, everything returns to normal, other than some indiscernible mumbling. Then, the tard releases a sky-tearing screech that nearly knocks E off his seat in surprise. E decides that now is probably a good time to get the fuck out, and quick. Alas, E is immobilized by his crap. Tries to finish quickly when suddenly a wet slapping sound echoes from the stall behind him. Sweet raptor Jesus, no. The guy is fapping in the stall beside him. E gets out of there as quickly as possible and is finishing his lunch break when the tard with Down syndrome emerges from the bathroom with jizz all down the front of his shirt. Doesn't clean up, just goes back to the deli to handle meats. And so begins the tale of the tard we had dubbed the Fap Bandit. Later that week, I get another text from E. It was worse this time. Apparently the Fat Bandit had followed E upon his break. E had tried to hold it in, but it was not meant to be. He gave in to the need and tried to take the fastest dump of his life. Halfway through, the Fat Bandit returns. Boom! Door kicked open, the mumbling resumes, and he picks the stall right beside E. Oh no. E rushes to finish. The shriek that announces the reign of terror bellows out into the bathroom. E, in an ill-fated attempt at trying to ignore it, looks at the shiny, polished floor, sees a reflection. For whatever reason, he tries to discern it. It's a full IMAX view of the Fat Bandit pumping his potato. They lock eyes in the reflection. Oh crap, .jpg. The Fat Bandit shrieks and uses his free hand to slam the side of the stall walls. E finishes, gets out, and goes right back to work. Continues to work for about an hour, then notices the Fat Bandit in the deli. His black shirt had whitish stains on it. The Fat Bandit smiles at him. E takes the rest of the day off. Okay, so it's been about a month since the last incident. The schools in the area have changed semesters, so there's a new rotation except for the kids in full-year co-op. The Fat Bandit is in full-year co-op. Even worse, it seems as though he has recruited a bunch of his tard friends. It turns out the Fat Bandit would follow E whenever he went to the bathroom, so E just stopped taking dumps at work. Unfortunately, he had Mexican food the night before. E rushes to the bathroom. And then it happens. Boom. The door is kicked in as usual. This time there is a chorus of cacophonous tards forming a herd. What the fuck? The Fat Bandit had brought every available tard with him. The Fat Bandit sits in one stall beside him, another tard in the one on the other side, and one is standing directly in front of his stall. The Fat Bandit's shrieks set off the other tards. They start slamming on the walls of the stalls as the Fat Bandit is slapping the potato. E gets out of there and full-on body checks the retard in front of his stall. The other employees in the bathroom are horrified by the sound. E complains to the owner of the store, whom he knows well. The tards have to be escorted to the bathroom by managers or someone now. And so ended the reign of terror set forth by the FAP bandit. I live in a little population 8,000 rich white town by the Mississippi, and all the special kids in the local school districts have to come to the high school here because the other schools by us are 70% black and super violent or straight up nothing but super poor kids. Our town's like a little fort for the stockpile of money and whiteness in the area, so I've got some damn good tard stories. Okay, first, the borderline tards who are just above the special mark. Be me, at lunch. This short, chubby, must be a sophomore, I was a senior at the time, kid with a sweatshirt tied about his waist in a way that suggests he's doing it as a fashion statement, sits down at the table by the cool party boy douche kids, unfortunately near my friend's table. All the kids go silent as he gathers their attention. I don't pay attention for a second as I'm talking to my friend. All of a sudden, my friend stops paying attention and is just staring at the table behind me. I look over. The subtard is just showing off and passing around his huge collection of hand-drawn and traced hentai he keeps in his school folder. The entire table is silent as he proudly presents it to them, shows them the entire folder, asks for comments in his version of subtard English. As he gets up, me and my friends are cringing, trying to hold back laughter as we look at the faces of the cool kids at the next table. I turn around to see where he is. He's walking up to everyone's favorite and really social teacher. Oh, this gonna be good, .jpg. He opens it and presents the folder to the teacher, in the literal middle of the lunchroom. Might I add, the teacher had just been diagnosed with ovary cancer and had been very emotional lately. So, the teacher can't cope with what the hell is actually happening, tries to power walk away. The kid matches her pace and continues to take out and shove all the pictures in her face until they both disappear around a corner. She eats in her own room now. Be me, manager at a grocery store, 18 years old. A guy comes in with a knife while I'm stocking liquor, holds up the cashier. The cashier does everything by the book. I hear this guttural scream. One of our regular customers is this 60-year-old retiree, lives just down the street. His retarded son, Robert, 35 years old, comes in like 4 or 5 times a day to wander around the store and say hey to us, buy a candy bar or soda while he's there. Sometimes he even just stands up front and says hi to everyone coming into the store. We end up hiring him as part of a social services deal with the city. He gets minimum wage from the city and we only pay half of the minimum wage. Well, it was Robert who was screaming. I have no idea that we're being robbed at the time. I get up front and he's got the guy in a submission hold. The police came and arrested the guy. He was like a spider jumping through the air onto the guy's back and tackling him. The dude was 6'2" and an easy 200 pounds, and Robert took him down barely standing 5'6" and 150. The police officers were reviewing the security footage with me. Man, I'm surprised he could take him down. I said, retard strength, and the cops tried not to laugh. One day, before PE, at the changing room, the whole class is just chillin'. Jacob, as a tard he is, goes to the people around us and talks about his pigs, the farm, and all that shit. When someone starts questioning his knowledge about agriculture, he gets angry. Not normal angry, but full tard rage, all that spitting, swearing, biting, full package. We had this kid in our class that was small and weak. His name was Daniel. Our precious little tard started talking to him. Daniel politely told Jacob to fuck off. He's gonna blow .midi. The tard rage goes as said, but Daniel, with one well-placed kick to the leg, sends the tard to the wall. Jacob hits the back of his head on the wall and slides to the floor, not moving. He's dead, Jim.jav. Suddenly he gets up and starts running all over the locker room. He manages to rip his head on a flat wall. Blood everywhere. He smears the blood on everybody in the room with his hands. The teacher comes in and almost faints. The rip on the back of his head was big, like you were able to see his skull. My face when he's trying to cover it with his hand. My face when he became a bigger tard after this, with bigger obsession about agriculture. My second encounter. After the locker room incident, his obsessions are bigger. My school gives free apples to students. My face when he came to school with 5 bags. He goes to the apple stand and starts filling his 5 bags. He said it's for his pigs. My face when he's living on a block in the center of our city. He hauled these bags home one by one, and each one approximately weighed about 8 to 10 kilograms. My face when it took him 5 hours because he can barely walk. Work in a theme park. I'm asked to be the entertainer for the day, occupy a coach of tards having a party. It's a nice day and the venue gets very hot in the weather, greenhouse and everything. Outside the venue is nice, a large lake full of geese and swans with seats around it and stuff. There's a knee-high wall that separates the garden area from the lake. The tards are having a great time, lots of food and music and mascots. One of the tards, let's call him King Tard, isn't eating his hamburger. He's been sitting there, eyeing up one of the geese that has been walking around the garden. King Tard suddenly grabs his burger and lobs it at the goose, full force. Hits it square in the face. I notice and nudge my colleague with my elbow. Stuff's about to get funny. The goose flips its shit. The goose launches itself at King Tard, unleashing a hell of flapping, biting, and pecking at his face. The King Tard tries to fight back, but the goose is too strong. King Tard begins whooping. The other tards hear the tard distress signal, TM, and begin whooping also. The other geese start to get involved as well. Food flying everywhere, geese attacking the tards. It's like a Lord of the Rings battle between King Tard of Autistland and Gooseville. Eventually, I radio Park Estates to call the battle off with air horns. I walk away crying of laughter with my colleague. For the rest of the day, we do absolutely nothing. Be the weekend. It's a smallish town, not everyone knows, but you see the same people a lot. Be at Park. See Tard and friends. The female is sitting in the shade reading a book. The fat one is, hilariously enough, eating a cheeseburger. He's a fat fucker. The tard himself is in the tree, probably asleep. He's always wearing those sunglasses. Wild gangbangers appear. Get closer to see what happens. The tard sits up, his curiosity piqued. The douchebags claim the tree belongs to them. The tard grins like a psycho and pulls out a knife. The grin is, quite frankly, scary, because he has a faint scar on his lip near the missing tooth. He carves the words Lord into the tree, then his name. It's mine. Like a child with a goddamn toy. A child with a toy. The douchebags refuse to leave. He, for lack of a better word, trolls them, turning everything they say against them, claiming to have had intercourse with everything from their mothers to their dogs, generally laughing his ass off and being a prick. They just won't leave. He eventually gets bored, starts throwing stuff at them until they leave. He leaves before we do. The douchebag leader makes a sudden and shocking, not, reappearance. The tard sees the douchebag's knife and gets a different look on his face from the other ones. He runs fast, like really fast. The kid never did anything in PE and could have made the track team. His friends are worried, but one is too fat to chase him and the other couldn't keep up if she tried, so they just go home. I see him on Monday at school. He's fine. No new scars. Still wearing his damn sunglasses. I figure he just got away. Then I see the news that night. A person in my area almost dies from a knife wound. Eyewitnesses all saying the same thing. He tripped and landed on his knife. This shit happened that weekend. It was the douchey leader who chased the tard that tripped. I work in a home for mentally challenged kids in New Jersey. Be a new employee, just finished training, assigned to watch the cafeteria. Kids tard around with their food. It's chicken nuggets with mashed potatoes and green peas. Protocol is to serve them food without any possibility of it being shaped into a weapon. It's honestly like prison. I'm assigned my sector of tards. One of them is in a straitjacket, being fed by a fellow employee. He's huge, bigger than that black guy from the Green Mile. His name is Norman. Norman is eating like normal. The assistant scoops up some taters on a chicken nugget and feeds it to him. Norman is not a known giver of fucks. Bites the tip of the assistant's finger clean off. Tard Table 34 goes insane at the sight of blood. Norm lets out a battle cry and headbutts the metal table, leaves a facial impression on it, craps himself and passes out. My face when I had to clean it up. Be me. Guy comes in. Obvious B-tard. He's about 3 more kecks away from just buying a trench coat.
I want one of your specialty cakes.
Alright then, sir. What is it that you'd like?
Well, I kinda drew it.
Oh great, that really helps us in getting started, thank you. He unfurls a crumpled piece of paper. A circular cake, nothing wrong with that. Sitting atop this cake is a series of men. Men without clothes. Men all inside each other. All laid out on one side, arranged in a perfect circle. Arranged in a sequence. Black, white, black, white, black, white. He puts a side note in the corner. I want every 5th guy to be upset. All the others have to look happy. I look him dead in the eye. His eyes contain a cocktail of fear, glee, and seriousness. I can't tell how he's feeling, but I know he wants the goddamn cake. We'll have this done according to the sketch in a week or so. We have to make, let's see here, 15 to 20 men all lined up like,
Like a train. A train of men. A man train.
My job is glorious. Senior year in high school. Accidentally put into the home economics class and have to wait it out. Sit with a tard and 3 Mexican girls who mind their own business, speak Spanish to each other each day. It's Texas. It's a weird assignment where one of us has to spoon feed somebody with a blindfold and guess what it is. Looks like mayonnaise, ranch dressing, toothpaste, etc. The tard is the only one in the group who wants to do the blindfold. The Mexican girls don't want to feed him, so I have to. I am now spoon-feeding a slobbering retard mayonnaise, trying not to vomit as he rolls it around in his blubbery cheeks, repeatedly guessing it wrong. He eventually gives up, and the toothpaste is next. I have an idea to entertain myself. I feed him the toothpaste. His face puckers up in disgust as he chews on the toothpaste slowly, like it's some great culinary mystery. We all chuckle a bit and he gives up. I give him toothpaste again. He doesn't notice it's the same and keeps chewing. He seems to hate the taste, but keeps willingly taking spoonful after spoonful. After 5 spoons, his mouth starts overflowing with toothpaste and slobber. He starts pushing out some with his tongue. My sides are burning with ashamed, suppressed laughter. The Mexican girls are pissing themselves, can't even hold back. 5 minutes of this. He is now overflowing with suds like a broken, mentally challenged dishwasher. Somehow, nobody else in the room is seeing this. My face win. Be me, junior, in high school. My last day. Make bet with friend that if I wear a thong to the last day of school, he'll give me $50. I come to school wearing a pink thong. First block goes smoothly, except for a serious wedgie. Second block, the gym. Oh crap. Realizing the thong's outline is clearly visible through the shorts, I decide to go European style. No underwear. We start the class by stretching, which I find out is pretty easy with my dingaling flopping around. Next, we have square dancing. Oh, come on. I try to leave the gym, but am stopped by the PE teacher who pairs me with a tard. Oh god, why? This tard is a whale. We start dancing and I'm trying to fight the urge of puking due to the smell that this tard is emitting. She then accidentally grazes her hand on my crotch. She takes a step back and looks at me with wide eyes. "Are you naked?" in the thickest tard dialect. What? "You're naked!" she starts to scream. Oh no. People begin to stare as she begins to scream the words in a tard rage. "He's a naked!" At this moment, the female PE teacher tries to stop her. The tard then pushes the PE teacher to the ground and rushes towards the nearest exit. Since the tard, being a tard, didn't realize that the door was locked, she begins banging on it with all her might. At this time, the security are in the gym. Once she's cornered, she screams again, "Hey, you're naked!" The security then restrains her and escorts her out of the gym. Whilst she's struggling to get away, she screams in the language of her people. That's the last time anyone ever saw her. I barely got questioned about why she was screaming, and I still got my $50. B Junior, freshman girl with autism in improv class and chorus. Very social, way too loud, can't shut the fuck up. Of course, my name is called to improv with her. Whoa, you look nice today. The tard is overwhelmed. I have to wait for her to say a line. She fucking never says a line. I get yelled at for not progressing the scene. In chorus the same day, being taught how to sing from your diaphragm. Been in chorus for 2 years already, I know how to do this. The teacher says, everyone breathe in, clench your diaphragm, and sing "ah" in a speaking tone. Nicole swells like a hot balloon, screams "ee," doesn't match any pitch. I physically recoil. The teacher physically recoils. The entire class physically recoils. Nicole notices.
What, guys?
Silence. The wrangler takes her out of the class to talk to her in the next room. I hear Nicole screaming and crying. The entire class is silent. Why is she allowed here? Be me. Be 16, 3 years ago. Hanging out with a friend. Has a severely autistic / mentally retarded 14-year-old little brother. He's the type of autistic that can't speak for himself. He can only quote stuff. He also doesn't know how to talk softly. He only shouts. One time he screamed, "Pixar presents The Incredibles in theaters now!" while everyone was trying to sleep. But anyways, back on topic. My friend has to go to the store with his mom. He keeps asking me to keep him occupied until he gets back. That means I'm in their home alone. Now is the perfect time to fuck with him. I look around for the tard. I find him playing Lego Marvel Superheroes on his PS3. I grab another controller and jump in. He's really into the game at this point. And by really into it, I mean he's really concentrating on jumping around in the game and doing nothing at all. I start pausing and unpausing the game. He starts screaming like an ape on steroids. I manage to hit the quit button before he unpauses it. It's on the main menu screen. I hold down on the D-pad so that he can't press continue. I stop and press new game and confirm it. I overwrite his save file. I guess he was almost to the end of the game. I don't know how that's even possible. Anyways, I guess overwriting his save file was a mistake. He goes full rampage. He grabs a surround sound speaker behind him and smashes the flat screen. The flat screen is now in pieces on the ground with broken glass everywhere. He runs to his room and cracks the door trying to open it. He forgot it was a push, not a pull. He starts punching holes in the wall. My friend comes home only to see the mayhem that he's causing. We both don't want to do anything because this is hilarious. He starts screaming like a banshee about 45 octaves higher than his normal voice. Ears are bleeding, but we don't care. He jumps onto his bed with the force of 1,000 men. He cries his eyes out. He starts kicking too. His mother comes in to stop him. She only gets thrown into a wall. She's only a 4'6" Asian against a 5'7" autistic Mexican kid. About an hour later, he falls asleep. My friend asks me what caused him to go full retard. I tell him he died in the game. He believes me. Fast forward a couple days. I'm sitting at home playing Terraria. The phone rings. It's my friend. I pick it up. He tells me that the surround sound was a couple hundred to repair and the flat screen was a couple thousand to get a new one. My friend still doesn't know what I did, and since the tard can't speak for himself, he can't tell anyone either. You absolute bastard. Substitute teacher, looking for a position to fill today. I see one marked as teacher's assistant that fills the entire week. There's no description, but whatever, probably some easy shit. I wake up late, no breakfast, forgot to bring lunch in my rush. I arrive at school, check in with the front office. They send me off into the depths of the building with some vague directions. I find a classroom at the end of an abandoned hallway. The door is already unlocked, so I open it. Immediate and intense autistic screeching and moaning from multiple directions. A bunch of high school kids sitting at desks playing with Play-Doh. I see one kid rolling around on the ground clutching a stuffed toy, giggling to himself. Another real, chonker-sized one bouncing up and down in his chair, waving his hands. My face when I realize that I've been tricked into being a substitute tard wrangler for the week. The chief tard wrangler walks up and shakes my hand, explains that I'll be filling in for one of her assistants. Says the tards are going bowling for PE, except for a few that need to stay behind, and that I need to stay and look after these ones. Says that they need supervision at all times and not to leave to go to the bathroom or anything until they get back from the field trip. Fuck it, how hard could it be? The first couple hours are pretty chill, except for being really hungry, and one kid who wouldn't leave the back of the room where he was standing and randomly yelling Reupload chants or some shit. Kids are learning about patterns. Chief asks for answers to the question about the patterns, but no one offers an answer. No different from a regular classroom. 11 o'clock. The short bus is here to pick up the students. I'm left alone with 3 tards. Tard number 1 keeps whispering to a mutilated Tupperware lid and putting it up to his ear like it's talking back to him, and then putting it in his mouth for a while. Tard 2 is the one who was rolling around on the floor earlier. Tard 3 keeps trying to touch me and talks really loudly and gibberish whenever he speaks. I let them play with puzzles and do their own thing, mostly. I try to make sure that they don't touch each other. They're actually pretty nice kids. They say please and thank you and shit, way better than middle schoolers. The 12 o'clock announcement over the intercom. I normally don't pay attention to these, but I listen this time out of sheer boredom. Teachers, don't forget to grab some chips and salsa from the PTSA students at the faculty lounge during lunch today. Really need some of those delicious Mexican triangles right about now. I can't leave my tards to fend for themselves though. There's only one solution. Takes fucking ages to round up everyone and get out the door. Tard 2 won't leave until I spoon feed him some yogurt, and Tard 3 has to finish his puzzle. Not sure what happens if subs get caught wrangling in a no-wrangle zone, so I try to be as stealthy as possible. I explain to my tards that we're playing a game and that we can't be seen by anyone else. I pull up a map of the school on my phone and plan a route to the teacher's lounge that doesn't go near the lunchroom. The tards are starting to get into the whole stealth thing, so I start really hamming it up, checking around corners and walking on my toes, putting my ear to the ground to listen to footprints. Stop once to tie Tard 2's shoes for him, but other than that, there's no issues. We arrive at the teacher's lounge, crack the door to check for people. It's a fucking miracle no one's here. Must be between lunches. The school had 2 of them because of the high population. The chips and salsa are sitting opened on a table in the middle of the room. I figure I'll have to have a few to satisfy my hunger and leave. Worth it, .jpg. I let my tards have some too, they've definitely earned it. We're having a grand old time. Until my attuned ninja hearing picks up voices coming towards the room. I grab the tards and chips without thinking and shove everything and myself through the nearest doorway. My face when it's the women's restroom. Hear people walking into the lounge outside. Figure it's only a matter of time until someone needs to take a piss, so I cram everyone into the handicap stall and lock the door. Not enough room. Everyone's pushing up against each other. Tard 1 has to sit on the toilet. The idiot pulls down his pants and starts using the thing. I guess he was well trained at least. I hold up the salsa and chips to prevent stank from touching their precious goodness. I can hear some confusion outside talking about the missing salsa and chips, and I pray to every god that Tard 3 doesn't have an outburst. Tard 1 pulls on my shoulder while I'm busy listening outside. There's no toilet paper. No problem, I'll just run over to the next stall and grab some. The door to the bathroom opens. I can see the teacher lady walk up to the mirror through the stall crack and start touching up her face. Fuck. Tupperware must have told Tard 1 that not wiping for a bit would kill him or something because he starts breathing heavily and shaking in his seat. He begins pulling off his shirt, and I know what I have to do to put a stop to it. I hand him a tortilla chip. It makes a crack as it breaks off in his ass. I give him another one, and another, and another, It takes surprisingly few chips to scoop all the shit out. Must have been the triangular shape, it's probably perfect for tight spaces, way better than the strips or circles could have done. The lady has left by now. Tard 3 flushes down Tard 1's chips and dip, so I have Tard 1 thank him in order to reinforce good behaviors. I can't hear anyone outside. They're probably off looking for the chips and salsa. I use the opportunity to sneak out and back down to the classroom. Continued our salsa party until the other Tards got back from their trip. The other Tards were jealous that they didn't get to have a salsa party. The chief wrangler puts on some piano music to settle them down until it's time to go home. Thanks me for wrangling today. I tell her it was no problem. Sitting in a clinic this afternoon. Small family with a middle-aged Downs Tard sitting with them. The mother starts going pale. Asks the Tard to go to the car and grab her medicine and some jelly beans. The Tard grabs the keys and runs. Time passes. Half an hour goes by. The mum is getting super pale and staff is asking if she's okay. She tells the staff that she's giving her brother responsibility or something along those lines. Staff can't do anything as she has basically refused treatment. Another 15 minutes goes by and her husband offers to go find the Tard. She flares up and starts raging about how he never gives her brother a chance to do something. The husband leaves anyway to find him. By this time, a full hour had passed. The air conditioning in the building has also stopped working. This is important later on. The lady looks like she's going to faint. Her child is starting to cry. Hear an argument outside. The Tard and husband return. The Tard's left hand looks like it's gone through Nom. There's blood everywhere. Yet in his right hand he is holding what seems to be a mangled tin of tuna. Listen in on the husband's explanation. The husband went out in the car park and couldn't find him. Went behind the clinic to see if the Tard had hid around there. Found the Tard with his hand wedged in an industrial aircon fan. The Tard had smashed the protective cover off the fan to try and use it to open unexplained tuna can. The husband pulls the Tard hand out of the machine, asks the Tard where he's been and where he got the tuna. Apparently the Tard had grabbed the pills and jelly beans and swapped them to passing black people for tuna. Nearly died laughing after hearing this. Luckily I was called into the doctor. My face when police are arresting the Tard as I leave, and the waiting room looks like a Tarantino film. Be me, grade 7. Be at school, hanging with the bros. The school, like most, has a Tard brigade. Alpha Tard is really into wrestling. Legit walks around the school doing various wrestling taunts. He is an Alpha Tard, so he of course has a Tard GF. The Tard GF supposedly gets into fights a lot. Alpha Tard always runs over, acts out a random wrestler's entrance, and immediately stops the kerfuffle by screaming incoherent crap. I develop a rapport with Alpha Tard, complete with an exclusive handshake and unconditional playground protection. Alpha Tard's surname was Bell, so naturally he used this to develop his theme song and trigger an explosive entrance sequence whenever the school bell rang. Fast forward to next term. My friends and I like to mess around with each other a lot. This included normal teen guy crap like pushing, hitting, or just general fucking around. One time, in canteen line, my friend starts to fuck with me, pushes me and takes my money for a laugh. Bell for half-lunch rings. Alpha Tard, aka Warrior of the Bell, comes pelting around the corner to the canteen at top speed. In full flight, Alpha Tard sees my friend push me. Alpha Tard sprint drop kicks him into oblivion. My friend stays down for what seems like forever, but was probably only like 2 minutes. Alpha Tard, as if beckoned by the gods only to protect me, sprints back the way he came. Friend gets up, unaware of what happened. We still give my friend shit to this day about being decked by a Tard. My face when I ran into Alpha Tard today 5 years later. Needless to say, he didn't recognize me. Be in public school. Be in 9th grade. Math class near the end of the day is located across from the Tard classroom. You can tell by the smell of crap, vomit, and lack of personal hygiene. Every day, the same fat Tard, let's call him Tommy, will open the door and scream. No one does anything, they just let him screech and holler down the hallways. Everyone ignores it, but I can't. That's annoying, yo. I ask the teacher what they're gonna do about it, and she glares at me like I raped her daughter. This goes on for about a month before the Tard Wranglers let Tommy go out a little bit too far. I'm coming out of the bathroom and going back to class when I hear it. It sounds like a monkey being torn to shreds by a lion. Suddenly, Tommy comes running out of my classroom without wearing anything. He sees me with this huge smile on his face. Wranglers are hot on his trail. Tommy starts running straight for me, screeching all the while. I'm freaking out, I don't know what to do, so I do the only thing I can think of. I pull my arm back, and when he gets close, I punch him square in the face. He goes down like a sack of bricks, but he's not screaming anymore. I get OSS for a week and ISS for 2 weeks. When I come back, I notice he isn't shouting anymore, until I realize that he wasn't there that day. Oh, goddammit, Tommy, sometimes I swear I can still hear you. Be 11 and happy. I thought I was cool and that all the girls wanted me. All the girls in class decide to rank the boys on their hotness. Me, 13 out of 14. Number 14 in class is the kid who was special needs named Peter, so I was just above tard hot. All the boys find out and make fun of me on the soccer field. I tell them to get lost and to just play soccer. Who cares what they think, dudes? Let's just play. A few minutes later, I score. I was pretty good at soccer. The goalie comes up behind me, and while I'm jumping for joy, it was recess, but it might as well have been the World Cup, and kicks my back. I fall to the ground. The other kids jump in and start stomping on my face. "You ugly fuck!" they scream as they spit on me. My face was bloodied and even more messed up. No recess supervision to see. I heard the ground rumble as I lay there motionless, taking kick after kick. Peter the Tard, number 14, rushes in from the tire swings. He body checks one kid, slaps another, and then starts spitting at everyone he could see. He was like the spitter from Left 4 Dead. Kids are scared, backing the fuck up. No one wants Tard spit on them. Spit is now dangling from his mouth. Fuck you, assholes! He pulls me up and we walk to the tire swings and swing together until recess is over. We don't say anything. My nose won't stop bleeding. My leg was in pain. Some girls from my grade ask if I'm okay, but Peter and I just ignore them. They started this crap with the list. To this day, I can't understand why the kids did what they did and why Peter stepped in. Up until then, I barely spoke to Peter. I can only remember in grade 1 because I was the best reader in class. They paired me with him, but that's all I can really remember of him before that day. The bell rings. Peter helps me into class. "What happened to him?" screamed the teacher. Before I could say anything, "Don't worry, Mrs. J, I got him." He always did. School dance. The hot list thing, by this point, had blown over. Back to being friends with the kids that had stomped me. A bunch of us standing along the wall like we're cool. No one's dancing. Except for Peter. The kid is a dancing machine. He's been doing chicken dance for like 15 minutes straight. The faggy DJ says, "Alright, you lovebirds, time for a slow song." The girls start asking boys along the wall to dance with them. The girl I love walks right up to me.
Can you ask George if he'll dance with me?
Just kill me. George was my best bud in class. I reluctantly tell George. The fat girls walk right past me and ask the other fat kids. There's no one left. I'm still standing there like a fag leaning against the wall. Everyone's dancing but me. Peter approaches and sachets. Oh no. I walk out of the gym. "Where you going?" I'm getting some air. "Kay!" He follows. We go outside and just start climbing on the bike racks like retards. All of a sudden, I get this crazy idea. Start letting out all the air in the girls' bikes. Peter is laughing like mad. "What are you doing?" Revenge. Peter and I hide out in the bushes and wait until all the kids who rode bikes come out. Everyone has flat tires, just like their breasts. George is going out with the girl I love now. We're in elementary school, so it's nothing much. Still, I feel crushed. Hanging out with them and another girl under the jungle gym after school. Think it's like a double date sort of thing. Think this blonde girl's okay. She doesn't talk to me at all. She's also in love with George. Everything George says, they giggle over. He starts talking about the NHL and they start laughing.
You're so funny, George.
Look at his hair. Wow, it's soft.
George and my crush start making out. I turn away so as not to look like it hurts too much. I see Peter in the bushes, staring at us. Hey, buddy! I laugh and wave back. Start to chuckle, thinking he's doing another prank. Nope, he's just fapping. It finally happens. Some girl likes me. Little ugly me. I'm so excited. This cute little girl in class named Sarah. She likes Pokemon and art. She's a bit skinny, but she's super hot. I have no idea why she even asked me out. George and me get chosen to be the MCs for the Christmas concert. The girl who told me that Sarah likes me tells me to do something romantic, like sing a song just for her at the concert. I ask my dad for help. He can't believe that some hot girl wants me. Girls always love funny guys, son. Make her laugh and she'll be yours. Christmas concert is almost over. And before we end, I'd like to sing a special song for the love of my life, Sarah. Just hearing it now makes me cringe. I start to sing Can You Feel the Love Tonight from The Lion King in a crappy Pakistani accent, thinking that was funny. No one laughs. Dead silence. Peter gets up from the floor. Bellissimo, bellissimo! Tears are falling from his face. For 10 seconds it was like all I saw was Pete. I was so happy. I thought I was like Sinatra. Then I heard the laughter and saw the people mocking me. Everyone laughs at me. So are you gonna go up there and kiss that retard? Screamed someone. I could hear a pin drop. Sarah gets up off the floor in complete tears.
I don't like that ugly monster,
she says and runs out. My gut wrenches. Bellissimo! The Christmas concert ends with the principal's speech and the grade 1s singing their piece. I'm waiting there with the mic next to George. My whole body is shaking as the grade 1s sing Jingle Bells. This is how crazy people are made. Truly evil people, I think. The girl's in love with some guy that can make them laugh, eh? This is how the Joker came to be.
Yes, class, I went to Hawaii for my honeymoon. Who here knows what the capital of Hawaii is? Anon?
I lift my head off the desk, black around my eyes. I haven't given a damn about school since we've been back from winter break. I look at the tanned teacher. Can you turn it down, miss?
What?
She asks. Your cunt raise. I can't see the board, you Sunny D chugging piece of shit. I get taken down to the principal's office by my arm. The whole class is laughing. I'm sitting on the principal's waiting sofa. Guess who's there? Yup. Peter apparently was spitting on his aide in Tard art class. Even though it was elementary, he'd swap in and out of classes with us. Hey, buddy. Sup, Pete? I tell him what I said to the teacher. Peter can't stop laughing. I love Sunny D. Starts calling his aide, who's standing by the office door, a cunt ray. Hey, Mindy, you're a cunt ray. She steps outside, probably because of PTSD. He gets up from the sofa. Dude, you gotta stay. You gotta see this. Chase after him. He goes to the grade 4 cubbyhole. Pete drops his pants. Oh, Pete, no. He puts his hands behind his head and just starts pissing on the coats and boots of other kids. This is mine, Sunny D. I start laughing like a madman. We run back to the sofa. No one was the wiser. Get 3 weeks of detention for swearing at the teacher. We go back to class. At lunch, I see all these kids crying on the same sofa. Their coats stunk like asparagus and were soaking wet. They have to have their parents pick them up because it was minus 15 degrees Celsius and they couldn't walk home for lunch. LOL. I hear Peter laughing from the lunchroom. Recess. I'm depressed and still don't want to hang around anyone. It's -10, I'm out here in a t-shirt. You're gonna catch a cold, says one of the teachers. Fuck you, miss. What? I just keep walking. Some girls start to make fun of me.
Can't afford a jacket, ugly kid?
I get really self-conscious, walk right up to her and smile, plant a big kiss on her face. My first kiss ever was a rape kiss. Rape kissed her like I was drinking water from a water fountain in the Sahara Desert. The girl starts crying. They called me a monster, and now I was one. I spend the rest of recess destroying grade 2's snow fort with Peter. Gay social studies class. I nod at Peter. He nods back. "Want to plan again?" I whisper, "Say you have to go take a dump." "Teacher, I have to go taco shit." He runs out of the class. 90 seconds go by. "Can I go get a drink of water?"
Fine, but be quick.
I leave with a huge smirk on my face. I meet Peter in the bathroom. This is getting real gay real quick. Take the permanent marker from my back pocket. The two of us write all kinds of degrading filth on the bathroom stalls. Tori smells like fish. Laura is a dirty hoe and sucks the D. We laugh our faces off. It serves him right. It was the perfect fucking crime. No one saw us. We had to go back to class. Get called into the principal's office because Peter wrote Anon plus Pete forever on the stall. We get 4 weeks detention. Peter is in our art class today. Everyone is making Valentine's Day cards.
No one's gonna make you one, Anon.
It hurts so much, but I just laugh. "If you must know, I'm making him one." Everyone laughs and calls me and Peter gay lovers. I called it. Peter hands me a card. "Hi, Anon. Love, Peter." There's a picture of 2 stick men peeing on some boots. A tear falls from my face onto the card. Damn it, Pete. I'm not gay. His smile rots away. I throw his card into the trash and try to laugh about it with the other guys. You piece of shit. Fuck you, man. Fuck you for ruining Peter's day. No one talks to me anyway. Everyone hands out their handmade valentines. I get none. The bell rings and everyone leaves. I go over into the trash and pull out my card. I find Peter waiting for his special bus. I tell him that I was just joking. "I know, buddy. Good one. Happy Valentine's." He pats me on the back. I take the card home. Dad finds it. I tell him it's from a foreign girl named Petra who's bad at written English. He pats me on the shoulder. "You sly dog." Spring comes around. Most of the girls are already starting puberty. Carrie got some huge tatas practically overnight. I can't stop thinking about Carrie and her bazongas, pervert. Tell Peter I'd give $1 million to see her jugs. "How much is your mouth?" he said as he pointed to my backpack where I keep my Pokemon cards. I cracked a devilish smile on my ugly mug. It's worth about $1 million. He gets up out of his chair. Sit down, Pete, says his aide. He just runs past her, goes right up to Carrie and yanks off her shirt and training bra. Oh my gosh, this is fucked up. The whole class is stunned. Holy shit. I gaze at her boobs. Beauty. "Can you see them?" screams Pete. She covers up and starts to cry. He runs back to me. As the aide and teacher chase him down, I hand him the card. "Meow, that's right!" Okay, that was fucked up, but fucking funny. The kids start to make fun of me for hanging around Pete all the time. I become known as the tard's friend. I don't even mind, because it feels better to be known as the kid who hangs around a retard rather than the ugly kid, you know? Life is getting better. The teacher doesn't even call on me anymore. I'm practically assimilated. I just hang around Pete all day. The teachers tell my mom that I've turned into quite the leader and have really made Peter feel like he's part of the class. Mom tells me I should invite Pete over for lunch. I tell her it's not a good idea, but we do it anyways. We arrange it with his aide. Mom picks us up at lunch, asks him what he wants for lunch. "I don't know, whatever Anon has." "What's the favorite thing your mom makes you?" "My mom is dead." Silence all the way back. Not really sure what happened to his mom, to be honest, but he never really knew her. Mom makes him a grilled cheese sandwich with tomato soup. Pete loves it. We're laughing our heads off, making burping sounds and calling my mom a tomato lady. "I love it, I just do," he said as he chugged his bowl. It was seriously the best lunch I've had. We get to go back to school with red suit mustaches and the residue of laughs in our bellies. I am so happy. "Nice mustache, you ugly cockface." From that point on, I just had it with the kids at my school. No matter what I did, I was just the ugly monster. So I only played with Pete. We decided, well, I did, and Pete just joined in, that our lives would be dedicated to effing over every other person who messed with us, and called us retarded or ugly. So we decided to Nicky Nine-Door this one girl, Lee. I'd been to her birthday the year before. Her grandma answered. We start laughing in the bushes.
Who's there?
She said. She goes back inside. We ring the bell again.
Hello? Who's there?
Your butt! It stink!
Screamed Pete. We laugh our ugly faces off and high-fived each other as we ran away. It's Passion Week. Basically, the school has all these modules you can sign up for that you get to do for a week. It's basically options for elementary kids. It's stupid. Peter and I don't give a damn though, so we just never hand in our forms. Both of us end up in cooking class. They bring in a real chef to teach us how to do stuff, and we go on a field trip to an actual kitchen to make cookies. Tons of parents join us, and yet still the unrelenting harassment continues. Peter and I are playing the number game on the bus. He was odds, I was evens. My mom was one of the parent helpers for the field trip. I hear the other kids laughing at us. Jesus, did you see Anon's mom? How the hell did that nice woman give birth to such an ugly kid? My mom doesn't say anything. Peter turns around and hawks a huge loogie and spits right at some random kid's face. Don't you ever disrespect my tomato mommy again! Peter gets told for spitting. He's not coming in. Him and his aide have to wait on the bus. Try and explain that he was just defending me, but the fucking teacher doesn't care. I go in. I learn to make cookies. Megan complains that she's my partner.
I don't want him touching my food with his fucking ugly hands.
Even my hands are ugly, I guess. Fine, whatever. You make them. I'm sitting there staring at the clock. Every once in a while, I'll get up and pretend to be the life of the party when my mom comes around. Haha, great joke, Megan.
What the hell are you talking about?
So depressed. Class is almost over. All of a sudden, I see Pete in the kitchen. He ran out of the bus and tracked me down. Megan walks over to tell on him. Pete opens the oven but puts Megan's backpack inside and turns it all the way up. Over time, the kitchen starts smoking. Teachers and parents ask what that smell is. Pete cracks an anime eyes-closed smile. Your cookie is burning, Megan. Pete got suspended for spitting and backpack burning, so I didn't see him for a while. One night, out of nowhere, I get a call. Muffled breathing. Hello? Muffled breathing some more. Hello?
You like wontons?
Pete's dad comes on the phone and tells me it's Peter's birthday, and they're going out for Chinese food, and I'm invited. An hour later, they pull up to my house in this beaten-up old car. Peter pushes his dad out of the way and then honks the horn for what seems like hours for me to come. I get in. No one says a word to me the whole ride. It's like I was going to be killed or something, mafia style. We arrive at the restaurant. Pete stays in the car. Pete can't come in. He doesn't like the Chinese. Oh, okay. We go inside to get the food and then come out and eat it in the car. Not at home, but in the car, in the parking lot. Every time a Chinese person exits the restaurant, Pete stops eating, closes his eyes, and covers his ears. What?
Ooh, spicy, Anon,
he says as he ate his sweet ginger beef. On the way back, as the dad is about to turn right, Pete takes the wheel. Peter, what are you doing? Peter, stop! We almost crash into a car. Peter starts singing, It's my birthday and I'll cry if I wanna. Out of nowhere, his dad goes, Those damn chinks putting MSG in his food again. Peter's back in school now, but he's different. The school forced his dad to commit some sort of medicines for Pete. Pete just stares and smiles now. He's like full-on Down syndrome. Just raises his hands sometimes like a frisbee is flying at his face. I try and cheer him up by cutting chunks of the girl's hair off in front of me. The girl finally feels me tugging at her hair like the third snip, turns around and notices her hair on the floor, screams for the teacher. I get dragged to the principal's office, but the entire time I'm just staring back at Pete. And he's not even smiling. Just sort of looking sad. He moves his hands a little bit. I did everything I could to not cry. Those bastards wrecked the only good thing in this world. The only kind heart. They would pay. For some reason, I blamed the school nurse. Though now I realize that she probably had nothing to do with the prescription and it was the principals and teachers. I decide to fight fire with fire. They drugged my boy. I drugged theirs. The problem is, I didn't have any drugs. I smirked as I opened the pantry door and then tucked a bottle into my backpack and went off to school. I pretend to be sick and I ask to see the school nurse. The nurse is hot. I tell her my tummy is hurting. She goes into her back room to get some gravol. I take the chili powder out of my backpack and pour a mound of it into her coffee. Large chunks of it swirl around as I try and stir it in with my finger. I wait in her office again until she grabs the coffee without looking and takes a large gulp of her morning joe. I grow a huge grin, ear to ear. She spits it out all over her desk. Spicy! I cackle. I get 1 week of detention, but it's worth it. I tell Pete about how I drugged the nurse with chili powder, but he just doesn't care. He's out of it. He just sits there and stares. I start crying and shaking Pete, telling him to laugh. Laugh, you son of a... Pete! I know you're in there. Don't leave me, Pete. Pete! He just kind of squeals and moans. Pete! I cry. Stop it, Pete. Please. Don't leave me, Pete. He's just an empty shell. His eyes are perma 1,000-yard staring. I start smacking him, telling him to wake up, that I need him. His aide tells me to stop as I'm bothering him. After that, Pete gets taken out of our class and is put permanently into the TARD class. I get 1 week of detention for my outburst.
Where's your retarded friend, you ugly loser?
I turn around and see George saying those words to me. My old best bud.
God, you're such a loser.
A bunch of girls are sitting at his table and they all laugh.
Ew, he's looking at me.
Can you stop it? It was only okay when you did it to me before because I had Pete, but just stop. Please, just for one day. They snicker. I turn around and I punch George square in the face. You think it's funny? Everyone stops doing their group work. All eyes on me. Laugh some more, George.
Anon.
I kick him in the face and chip his tooth. The teacher picks up the phone and calls for the principal to come as soon as possible. I leave the room and run for the TARD class. I'm gonna get suspended for kicking George. It's just a matter of time before they find me. I open the TARD classroom door. They're playing with Play-Doh. I grab Peter's hand and lead him out of the door as fast as I can. His aide notices, chases after us. Right before we get to the door, she pins me down.
Stop, what are you doing? Where are you taking Peter? You can't just...
I'm squirming like mad, trying to get out of her ham-beast clutches. The principal and teacher spot us from down the hall. Get off me, you fat cunt! I hear a snicker, and I look up.
What did you call me?
Says the woman. Peter's holding a dictionary over his head, and he slams it down on his aide's head. Look it up, bitch! Get out from under the fat, wobbly body and exit the doors with Pete. We're on the lam. We have maybe a 1-minute lead. We run for the bushes of the house across the street. As soon as we lay down on the ground, hidden behind the foliage, the teacher and principals exit the doors. They are joined by the janitor. They start calling our names and running down the opposite side of the street.
Anon?
Pete? I said, crying, laughing.
I gotta make a shit.
He knocks on the door of the house. Some old guy answers and Pete just walks right in. What in the blazes? Says the man. He's gotta use the bathroom, sorry, I said. The man let him poo and then we exited through his backyard. We walked aimlessly for a while and hid behind some cars when we heard sirens. I really thought Pete had killed his aide when the first siren whizzed by. Are you okay, man? He nodded and smiled. As we walked down the sidewalk, Pete began to stagger, and then right before he fell, I caught him. Pete, are you okay?
Hey, you like wontons?
He pointed to the Chinese restaurant down the way. We walked inside and got a table for 2. We had 0 money to our names, but the waitress didn't know that. We ordered like 12 dishes and got Shirley Temples too. I figured if we were gonna get the chair, we might as well have something to remember it all by. Every time the waitress came by to refill our Shirley Temples or drop off the food, Pete would close his eyes and cover his ears. After the 10th time, I asked him why he did that.
I don't want to get mad at her.
Huh? Why would you get mad at her, man?
'Cause of what they do to my mommy.
What do you mean? What happened to your mom?
She died.
I know that, but he starts tearing up.
She died.
We open our fortune cookies. Mine was, you will soon gain something that you will have always wanted. His was eaten. He ate the whole cookie. When the bill comes, I tell the lady I have to help him in the washroom and we sneak out the window, owing the restaurant over $100. It's dark now. The moon's out tonight. Pete looks like a retarded saint next to me. The nicest kid that ever lived. We have nowhere to go. The streets are getting a bit sketchier the further we go. We stop at a playground. Pete runs towards the tire swings, and we start swinging together, talking about life, talking about the girls we wish we could have banged before we ended up in jail for killing that aide. Pete tells me that his aide just had a baby too, which honestly makes me feel even more sick. Puke out a huge chunk of Chinese food. As soon as Pete sees me hurl, he hurls as well. He starts digging around his puke. Peter, what the hell?
Looking for my destiny.
He was looking for his fortune cookie, to be exact. He never found it. He looked up at the stars. I think you found your destiny, man. I smiled at him, thinking about my fortune and how I finally got what I always wanted.
What do you mean?
Never mind, man. Hey, you know when you rescued me and we came back to swing on the tire swings? You remember that day?
Yes, of course.
Why'd you do it, man? Was it because we used to read Dr. Seuss together in the first grade?
Well, if you must know, it was 'cause I didn't want to be the ugly kid in class, so I protected you.
He smiled. I blinked. Dude, you were number 14. I was number 13.
I know.
14 was uglier than 13.
Oh.
He looked up like a philosopher at the stars.
Oh.
He muttered.
Well, I'm retarded.
And that, my friends, is the story of Peter and the Joker. What a fucking good one to go out on. Thank you, guys. For those of you who made it all the way to the fucking end of this video, thank you. You're a real trooper. But, yeah, this is going to be my last video here, so... for those of you who are out of the loop, Britfag Saga Part 1 got nuked by YouTube and I got a community content guidelines strike about a month or more ago at this point. More than a month for sure, because I haven't uploaded in forever, but yeah. So instead of pumping more content into a channel that's probably going to get nuked by YouTube within the next year or so, I decided to just call it quits, because I'm sure you can understand why I don't want to pump a lot more time and effort into a channel that's not going to be here. Most likely. Which is sad, but that's just how YouTube is going, so. But to be honest, I was running out of good stories to read anyway, and 4chan really can't keep up the way it used to. Which is sad. But, yeah, I had a lot of fun with you guys. I've met a lot of really cool people. A very small percentage of shitty people, but mostly cool people. I got to meet my favorite reader on YouTube, yeah. Play Rainbow Six with him all the time, so, you know, fucking A, I'm gonna call this channel a win. It was a damn good time, and I had a lot of fun with it. But yeah, I'm gonna give one final thank you. I'm not even gonna edit this down. I'm gonna look for the list of patrons, because I deleted Patreon a while back because I was like, man, I haven't uploaded in a fucking month. I don't want to be fucking paid for not doing anything. But thanks to Buffalo Wings, David Blackburn, Doyman, gotta call him Doyman, he doesn't want me using his actual name, Defter Tuna, Joshua Pearson, Onion Tato, Riley Ogden, Bipolar Express, with the only name that's ever made me fucking crack up during recording the thank yous. Vril, who is also known as The Kitten. I had no idea that this was the same person that I talk to on Discord all the time, but hey, props to you for being humble and not bragging about being a patron. That's awesome. Thank you to Union573. Thank you to Ballistic Blue, Dennis Rodolfi Jr., James Edward Edicott, whose name is very fucking fun to say, which is why I over-pronunciate it, fuck it, I'm retarded now. Whose name I've over-pronunciated every single fucking time I've read it. Thank you to Caitlin Miller, who was probably one of my very, very first Patreon donators. Very cool of you. I'm glad you stuck around for that long. Vincente Vitendi, the most noble of Tard connoisseurs, and Tarrant, who was, yeah, he was donating big bucks there for a long time. Big thank you to... Ah, shit, he donated forever too. No, I'm not gonna look it up. I can remember this. Big thank you to Nick the Undead. That's it, Nick the Undead. Yeah, I remember because I had to put your name in the fucking Halloween font every time I put it at the end of the video. I had too much fun with that. Also, Goth Cran, yeah, thank you. And John Miller with the Berserk profile picture I remember on Patreon. Fucking A, you know your way into my heart. Oh yeah, let's, well, who else? Well, you can't just go through Patreon, you gotta go. Thank you to Ten Bond for being in a few of my videos and for playing Siege with me every now and then. You're a great guy. Thank you to Sir Cheese Great, who a lot of you might hate, but he's still one of my very best friends. Always gonna love him. As far as the server goes, gotta give thanks to Weary Soldier, who's always been a ton of fun. Fellow YouTuber Almighty Lolly, who I was in his Berserk video that he made a while back. He's a fucking great guy, great YouTuber. Puts a lot of effort into his stuff, which I respect and which I can't empathize with because most of the shit I've made has been pretty easy. Yeah. I guess this is it. Fucking kind of sad right now, but damn. Yeah, I'll still be around in the Discord and... Oh yeah, I was gonna do one more thing, that's right. So, I've been trying to, for a long time, encourage other people to get into reading stories online and stuff. If you ever do want to get into it, I'd really suggest... This is assuming you already have a computer. You can even a really shitty computer, you don't need a huge editing rig or anything. So say you have like a shitty laptop or something, go on Amazon. Let me see if I can find it right now. I might have to edit this down a little bit because this is going to be a lot of audio of me just typing. Yeah, go on Amazon, and for $40 you can get a USB microphone made by Fifine, F-I-F-I-N-E. They make this microphone that's only $40, but it sounds exactly the same as my old Blue Yeti did, which was a really good microphone for a long time. So yeah, go there, buy that. That's all you need audio-wise. Maybe get a pop filter, because otherwise your P's are, you know, when your fucking plosives are gonna sound awful when you're, you know, making that kind of noise. But that you get that, you get you download a free video editor. Do not ever pay for a video editor because there's so many good free ones out there. I use DaVinci Resolve, which probably won't work on a lower end computer, but I really like Resolve a lot. But if you're on a lower end computer, I know that there is an editing program, I think it's called Olive, that can run on basically any machine ever made. So yeah, that's a good option for you. Just go in there, fucking drag and drop, you know, a picture of whatever you're reading. You don't even have to do that, just have a background of some kind on your video, and just read, man. And even if you, like, I sounded like shit at first, so even if you feel like you sounded like shit to begin with, you'll sound a lot better down the road after you get some practice. It's amazing what, you know, a little bit of time can do. But yeah. So, thanks again, guys. Thanks for listening to me ramble at the end of this. But, yeah. Anyway, I hope to see some of you guys make your own channels in the future. That'd make me super happy. But, yeah. Good luck out there if you do. And I'll be seeing you around. Bye.